Hi, so in this tutorial I will let you know regarding making a sketch block. So for that I need to open a new file. Okay, and before making a sketch block I want to introduce you like why we make sketch blocks and what things can be done. A sketch block is nothing but it contains some 2D drawings, and among the 2D drawings you can simulate few things. For example, if you want to make a wheel to rotate, you need to know first how a wheel rotates actually. So for that you no need to make a wheel, a real wheel which has a rim, a tires. You need to assign materials, color, finish, and then actually how it works. You no need to do anything directly. You can make some 2D drawings, you can simulate that things very easily, very quickly, and then you get an idea whether what to do and what not. So that is through sketch blocks. So before making a sketch blocks you need to make sketches. So let us select the front plane, edit sketch, and then let's say I select a circle. So this is my circle. So this a circle I made, and then now I will add some sketch block. So here you go, tools, and in tools you will find blocks. So here you go and say make. So this is how you make, and by default this arc goes here, which is arc 1, and then you click OK. So now our sketch block is made. Click here and look, when you click on the block this is selected, so which means this drawing is under this block. Okay, so this is one thing. Now again in front plane, okay, in front plane I will make let's say a square or a rectangle to be more specific, and then again insert and in tools, blocks, and make. Now here 4 lines are selected and make block. So this is made. Now when you click here this is selected, so the second block is made. Let's say in third one I make a line. Okay, right click and chain, and I make a circle. Okay, I made 2 things. Now let's say tools, blocks, and make. Here arc 2, and again I want to select this line, so line 5. Okay, so here in this third sketch block, block 3, 2 things are selected which are not connected to each other. When you click here or when you click here, see, block 3 has 2 things. So remember, not necessarily they should be connected. So in this way, in this fashion, sketch blocks are created. And let's say one thing, now you know how sketch blocks are made. Now I will add something special in this. First of all, this, which block is this? The rectangle is this. I want to delete this. Right click, delete. Okay, also I want to delete this thing. I don't know how to delete, but let's try. Click, delete. The complete block goes away. Anyways, we don't want the 2 things, we want only 1 thing. So again I will make a circle, let's say with dimensions 25. This is 25, or I will make it 20. Okay, and now insert, tools, blocks, make, arc 3. I don't want this because close this thing. Here I add few things. Let's say those things are center line between from here to here. I want to add a center. Right click and chain. Okay, when you zoom in you will see a center line. Okay, and let's say now tools, blocks, make, and then select this and this line. Okay, similarly I want to do the same thing over here. So here I will select a center line and try to add in block 1 if it works, or else I need to select a new sketch blocks and chain. Okay, insert line. Okay, this is done. Now in block 1 I want to edit the block, and when I edit the block, look, edit the block, so I want to add this thing in the block. Okay, whether I'm able to edit the block or not, save block, make block. Here when you click the edit block, you can see an of left window, or what you call is the leftmost toolbar opens, and but I want to add this center line into this block, so that becomes difficult for me. When I click here, both lines should be selected, but in this case it's not happening in my case, so I will delete this thing. I also delete this center line. Also want to delete this, delete again. I will make let's say a wheel, and this wheel should be not 50 but say 30. Okay, and I want to add a center line from here to here very quickly. This is done, and chain and tools, blocks, make. Now add this and this. Okay, make block. So this is done. When you click here, this is selected. When you click here, this is selected. So two blocks are selected. Now here what I'll do is I will click here, and when I click on the center point, I want to fix it. So okay, I fixed it. Okay, in block I fixed it. This is fixed. Now I want to add some relations between both these blocks, and now why I made this sketch blocks you will come to know. If I want to see, for example, this is my wheel 1, this is my wheel 2, and I want to see the motion between both the wheels, how the wheels are going to rotate, then the application of sketch block is in front of you. So I will click here, one click, and control another click, and here I find my option called traction. Okay, so here I want to do traction between, as you can see in the symbol, left click. Okay, this is done. Now what I want to do is, look, can you see, I will click here first. I'm moving this thing. Look how my other wheel rotates. So let's start from this point. This is one complete revolution. Again, this is one complete revolution, and this line was here and it went here. So in one complete revolution, how many revolutions are being taken by the bigger wheel? So for example, this is my driving wheel. So click here and click here, and I will drive it clockwise and anti-clockwise. Easily will come to know what happens. Not only this, since this is fixed from this end, so this is not moving anywhere, but this is not fixed. So in this case, when I move this thing, I can also move in this fashion. Look, on the upper end of the wheel, and at the same time I'm moving this thing clockwise. Look, many things can be done like this, or on the opposite side I'm moving it. So this is how you simulate two different things. Now I'll keep this bigger circle over here somewhere, okay, and then I will click here, and then I'll fix it. So now this is fixed. When this is fixed, both are fixed, I will move this thing, and see, this is also moving. Nothing is happening, but only these are moving with its own axis. It acts as a gear. This is one gear and this is another gear. Now this is not only restricted to two wheels. Okay, this is block 4. Okay, now one more wheel I want to make, which is the biggest one. Let's say 50, or let's say more than 50, which is 56. Okay, and here same thing I will make is the center line, and from here to here, right click and chain, and now insert tools, sorry, again mistake, tools, blocks, make, and click here and click here. This is done. Make block. Now the traction between two things is one, control this one, okay, and then traction, it goes over here. Now I'll move this thing, I'll move here somewhere, okay, and or I can also move this whole circle, the bigger circle. Look, it overlaps also at the same time. I'll keep this here and I will fix the center point. Click on the center and then fix it. Block 6, okay. Now 3 circles are made. Now see how relations are passing from one gear to another gear. I will use the word gears, not circles. So this is my one gear. Look, when I move clockwise, another one is moving anti-clockwise, and again the third one is moving clockwise. If I move this thing anti-clockwise, the second one is moving clockwise, and the third one is moving, look, anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise. So this is how I get to know how my gears rotate, how my wheels rotate, and many things through this block. So make it okay. Now let's say this is between 3 circles. Now I don't want between these 3 circles, so let's say I want to delete this block. Right click, delete. This is the second one. Right click, delete. Okay, this is fixed, so I don't want it to be fixed anymore, so click here. Or if this is having a fixed thing, right click. I don't want it to be fixed, so for that thing, again right click, let's say edit block, if you want to edit the block. And or else what you can do is close. No, this is a fixed one, okay. Right click, you can select this thing and then delete. This is now no more fixed. Now what you can do is, I want to make, let's say, a rectangle like this, okay, and I will make another sketch block, which is tools, blocks, make. Okay, this 4 lines undergoes the sketch block. Okay, now this is block 1, this becomes block 2, and relation between both this is click here and control, click on this edge, and then what you can do is either tangent or traction. Let's try traction. This is my traction, okay, and now this is my wheel, and let's say if I want to move my wheel, whether I'm able to move my wheel or not, this whole moves at the same time, but I don't want it this fashion. I want it, the wheel, to move. So here I will right click and then I will fix it and make it horizontal first, and then I will fix it. Now this edge is fixed. Now I will try to move the wheel. Look, can you see how the wheel is moving? Can you see? So it's not moving very freely, or you need to know how it moves. Yeah, but definitely this is moving, this is traction, this is coincident. Okay, this is okay. Now again let's try. This is the relations. Zoom in. What is this relation? Delete it. Let us try again. It goes inside this relations. Cancel. And coincident, okay. And try to move this point. Look, this is moving like this, okay. But I want it, the wheel, to move from one end to another end, because I look, now this is moving, but it has lost the relations between this thing. So the relation was between this and this should have a traction, okay. And after that, now click on this point and try to move. I will check what happens. This is back, if this is fixed, if I click here, this is my block 2, this is my block 1, and I have applied some here. What if I'm trying to move it, but it is not working. Okay, it is not working. So in this case, let's delete this thing. Delete. Yes. Another sketch I want to make is by selecting the front plane. Okay, and then here this wheel is enough for me. Center line, as you can see, from this point to this point, right click and chain, and tools, blocks, make, click here, again click here and make block. After making this block, what I'll do is I will click here and then I'll fix this. Once this is fixed, now I'll try to apply some relation, control this thing, and then when I want to apply some relations, close this thing because I don't find any traction. Cancel, back. Okay, there are two sketch blocks, this one and this two. There is some sketch, again there is some sketch. We'll try again, click here. No, not in this way. Click here and click here. I want to add some relations between these two, which I find it difficult because this line and this circle. You can also go to add relations button from here. These are your features, a sketch, and now as you know, two things I have made, a circle and this thing. After this thing I have fixed this thing, the center point. After fixing this thing, click here, one click, and control another click. After another click, you will get a traction over here. When you click on the traction, this is very simple. Make it okay. After making okay, just select this point and look how the part is moving. Look, can you see the traction? This is the traction. It moves straight. Now this is very free, so it depends on you what kind of things you select. In earlier one we fixed this edge and then we were trying to move, but this was not moving. Here it moves very freely. So this thing is made now. So this is between it's a kind of rack and pinion arrangement, but this is a pinion and this is a rack. And for example, you consider that when your pinion rotates, see this also rotates like this. That's okay, I need to fix it. That's fine for me. It's swinging, but you need to keep in mind that this is the point. Yeah, it I shown you it back. Okay, and it is very sensitive, so it no longer acts. Again, you need to edit the blocks and then you need to find the thing. But yes, this was about a rack and pinion thing. Now I will show you some pulley arrangements. For that I need to delete both the blocks. Yes, again delete this. Yes, now very freshly I'll make two blocks, which is, let's say, close this thing, say front, normal, and circle. This is my one circle, and center line like this. Okay, and chain, and tools, blocks, make. So add this thing, adding both the things, and make a block. Okay, this is done. Now again I will select some smaller wheel, a little bit smaller wheel, and then I'll make a center line as usual. From here, this is a wrong center line, and chain. Again select a center line properly. From here not able to select properly. From here to here, right click and chain, and again tools, blocks, make. Okay, so this is done. After making the two circles and two blocks, I will use another option called pulley. So I will use this two wheels as a pulley, and I will connect both these pulleys by a chain or by belt. So let's say tools, sketch entities, and the last feature over here is belt chain. In sketch entities, tools, sketch entities, belt chain, click it. Here I need to select two things, two blocks. So this is my one block, this is my another block. Yes, now can you see the belt between both the things? And here not only you can see the belt, but also you can see the length of the belt, which is in millimeters. It's 553 millimeters. Here not only the length of the belt it shows, it also shows the used belt thickness. It shows the thickness of the belt, engaged belt which is being engaged by a pulley, and flip belt side. So when I flip it, look, so what happens is, first of all I will set the normal belt. So when I try to rotate, cannot add a constraint on these entities, that's okay. So when I try to rotate, again the same thing, I will make it okay. And after making it okay, when I select this point, and look, it becomes bigger, smaller, it depends how the things are. The automatic relation inferred by this operation would overdefine that they will not be added. Okay, that's okay. So what is, I want to fix this thing. Okay, now this is fixed, and I want to move this thing. Now this is not fixed, so here that's okay. Again I will fix this point, fix. Now both are fixed, and after fixing it, that's okay. Now what else, these two belts, look, this is fixed. Now you can see when I'm moving right, it moves right. When I move left, this moves left. So this is with the similar type of belt. This is not a cross belt. Okay, this is one. When I flip the direction of the belt, that's okay. Let's say this is my belt, and in this belt, click on the belt, and then this is flip belt. So there are two blocks, and edit pulleys, and now you can flip belt. Once my belt is flip, okay, yeah. And then when I select this point, now when I move this clockwise, this moves anti-clockwise, another wheel. When I move it anti-clockwise, the other one moves clockwise. So this is the relation between the two things. Now again, that's alright. Again click on the belt, and then edit pulleys, and then flip belt side. I want the normal belt. Okay, now this is not only restricted to two things. Okay, I can also make three pulleys. For example, let's say I will make one more pulley, a smaller one. Okay, over here somewhere, and I will make a center line from here to here. Sorry, this is a wrong center line, and chain. Select the center line to be precise. Center line from here to here somewhere, and chain, and that's okay. Add it to block, which is tools, blocks, make, click, click. Okay, when I add it to this block, here shows the length of the belt. Now I'll select the belt, and here I want to add this thing, add one more block. Close this thing, cancel, that's okay. Again I will click here, I will do edit pulleys, and I will try to add this. Yes, this is added, very simple, this is added. And then it shows the belt length has been increased, and then make it okay. Now let's see what happens when I try to move this thing. All the wheels are rotating. look, anti-clockwise all the wheels are rotating. So this is a very good thing. Now if I want to manage, or if I want to keep my belt length to be more, look, if I make this thing more, look how it moves. For example, let's say make it less, okay, and I want to fix this edge. So this is fixed, so it won't move now. Point, okay. And now click on the belt, or okay, use belt thickness. So this is moving, this is moving, okay, everything is moving now. It also shows that if I want to make a fixed block here, when I click here and then I will move here, so this is also moving, okay. So this one wheel is fixed. Now in this case, if I'm fixing this, yeah, and fixing this, now only this thing moves up and down, it moves anyway. Look, so here my length of the belt changes, that's okay. This is my length of the belt, and now I can move it anywhere. Let's say this is my normal belt, and edit pulleys, and I want to flip it. So this is my cross belt, okay. And then again, look, I'm moving this thing. 2 times rotation is equal to 1 complete rotation of this wheel, okay. And then okay, and then belt is very important over here. This is driving, okay. So this is driving. Let's say I want the belt to be 800, but I don't want this cross, so edit and flip it, okay. This should be 800, that is fixed. So here it automatically adjusts, like the belt length is 800, but where the pulleys should be, and how much at a distance apart the pulleys should be, it shows. So you can also fix the belt length as in this case. This is engage belt. When you click here, the belts are disengaged, and use belt thickness, and it shows let's 5 mm thickness I want to use, okay. So belt will be thicker, a bit thicker. Let's say this belt, and you want to use 20 mm thickness. This is 20 mm distance, so that's alright. It depends like what kind of thing you want to do. And this is how the motion between the 3 pulleys are. So this is how your option traction is: traction between 2 wheels, traction between a wheel and an edge, which is a rack and pinion, the not only the wheels but also the pulleys, between 2 pulleys, between 3 pulleys, the normal belt when it moves in this as it is shown, not only the normal belt but the cross belt where one moves clockwise and the anti-clockwise. So in this way you can simulate many things, and the applications are mostly in mechanical industries where there are lots of gears and pinions and racks and spur wheels are used, and there are what we call power transmission in automotive systems, in automated conveyor belt systems where there are rollers used, and those rollers are passed on a conveyor belts. So you know, enormous, not only that roller, this acts as roller belts, or this also acts as a pulley. These are the pulleys and these are the belts which are passing. So you get the option, like again I'll tell you the option: tools and sketch entities, and the last option is belt chain, which is inactivated right now. So in this way you need to make blocks first and then use those options. You cannot directly use those options. So this is how your sketch blocks options work. I have used the center lines which connects from the center to over here. This is not a center line, but these lines I've used purposely for you to understand. Like when I move it clockwise, it just for a reference purpose that yes, the wheel is moving. So this is used only for the simulation purpose, where for example if my simulation works here, everything is okay, I can calculate my number of teeth, I can calculate my number of rotations, revolutions of the wheel, and this design, if it is validated and approved, then I can further go for manufacturing of my real wheel, my real belt. And then when I undergo simulation of that belt, then this resembles, or this, the replication of this is seen in that thing. And thank you.